Hello, guys. Look, I'm checking as always if I'm live. Hello, welcome back. Um, am I live? Yeah, I'm live, right? Am I live? Put a like. Show me. Yes, I'm live. Okay, thank you so much. Hello, guys. Welcome back to another commentary, comments and thoughts, opinions and thoughts regarding the last episode we saw of the final season of Shingeki no Kyojin, episode 9. Look, I wait a few seconds in order to start. Thanks for all the new subscribers, first of all. Thank you for the support. And as always, I have lots of notes. Look, here you are. Look, I wrote down many things, see? Many things. So if you see that I look down, it's just because I don't want to forget anything about what I have to say. But anyway, before starting, of course, I know that the new chapter came out. Yes, I know. Sorry, I'm moving a little bit this. Okay. I know that the new chapter came out. I don't know anything about this, but I heard from a direct info I have, that means my husband, that it's amazing. So, and his vote is 10. So, usually he is giving 9 all the times, but right now he said it's 10. So, okay. Anyway, I think it's better for me to start because I have so many things to say today. Look, this episode is based on two different things. One thing is the explanation throughout the different images and throughout different dialogues. And the other part is simply the monologue Armin is making, facing Annie. So I think, first of all, I'm going to analyze the first part. That means all the dialogues that happened, all the things we got in touch with, all the new info we understood. And then at the end of this explanation of my opinions and thoughts, I'm going to analyze even these Armin and Annie dialogue, even if it's not a dialogue, but it's a monologue. Okay, let me start. I put that note away so I don't confuse myself. Okay, at the beginning of this episode, we see finally, I have to say finally, some of the things that happened in those 3 years break, let's say, before starting season 4. And this was really useful because I can see a different perspective, a different understanding of the entire story that is better for me to know. Otherwise, I'm a little bit confused. But let me start the scene after scene. I'm going to tell you this time my opinions because instead of using the method of each character, I think here in this episode, it's more essential to pay attention to each scene. So later I can explain you what I think. Okay, when the Marley military forces arrived next to the Paradise port, even if it's not a port because they don't have one. But we see Eren carrying this big ship, and of course it reminded me of Kruga in season 3 part 2 when he transformed in front of Grisha and he told him, look, that's what a titan is. Ta-da! And so this is a great reference, I think. Look, in this period, I mean, in these episodes, I really feel as if even Kruger is really important, even if he ended his life before anybody else. But let me say that is really, really important. His actions, his thoughts, and even his gestures or his height or his movements. So I think Kruger is still really, really important. And I'm really happy because, as I told you already many times in my comments and thoughts, everything he said somehow is really essential to understand the parts of this story. So I'm really, really happy to see that he is still essential here. Uh, I'm so happy. But anyway, these military forces, when they are approach paradise, let's say, because they have to do what they have to do, but they can't do it anymore. They are saying, "Oh, look, that's a devil." I mean, when they look at Eren, they are saying this. He's a devil, and in that case, when he's transformed, yes, he is a devil because he has even the face of a devil. So in that case, they are partially correct, let me tell you. When we are talking about the population of a paradise as devils, I don't agree because that's pure discrimination, as we have always said. But at the same time, I feel as if in this case they are right because Eren is destroying a ship, Eren is destroying or is ending all their lives. So from their perspective, yes, he is a devil, even by looking at his eyes and his physical appearance as a titan. So, yeah, in that case, they are in front of a devil from their point of view. Um, I wanted to say one thing. I really love Hanji. I think Hanji is the comic part left because once Sasha died, I think the only laughable moments will come from Hanji, and I really missed her. I missed how she can be the center of a scene, even if it's for a few seconds, few minutes. But I really appreciate it. In fact, even in the reaction video, I laughed so hard because I love Hanji. I think without her, the story wouldn't be the same. And I really appreciate that Erwin decided that she was going to become the new commander of the Chosahedan. I think she's perfect. And most of the times we judge Hanji just because she's comic. I mean, just because she's funny or she's ironic or something like that. But at the same time, I think Hanji is really intelligent and really strategical, and she has the proper instruments, even mentally speaking, that are proper to guide an entire Chosahedan. So I think Erwin was not stupid by saying, okay, Angie, you will be the next one. I think he could have chosen even Levi, but he didn't because I think Levi, in his reactions, is rushing too much most of the times, even if he's quite cocky. But he was not fitting that role. I think Hanji is really great for this. But anyway, yeah, when she's saying, "Oh, welcome to Paradise, the island in which you can eat, in which you can drink a tea and talk to us." Look, that was amazing because finally we see how Paradise people are approaching Marle for the first time. I mean, humans versus humans. And what I was really surprised to hear was that they are trying to take a tea and talk. That's another reason why I prefer Paradis instead of Marle. Because Hanji could have said, okay, let's kill them, everyone, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't. They wanted to sit, to have a tea, and to talk. And this is the perfect attitude that they should have. So I definitely like this approach, even if they are threatening a little bit Niccolo at the beginning, because they are saying, look, there is another person here. We have already taken him as a hostage or something like that. But the purpose was that to talk. And I really like this. I think that was the best thing to do. But mm, that's something antithetical. I mean, usually Marley thought, okay, they are going to kill us, everybody, because they are devils and stuff like that. No, they are not going to kill you if you don't attack them. They just want to talk to you. And this is amazing. This is the perfect approach people should have all the times. And so, yeah, I really appreciated these oxymorons. I mean, this contrast between the ideal of Marley that they have towards paradise people. That means they are all devil. They want to kill you. They wanted to destroy you. Blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, they didn't do something like that. The approach was quite positive because they wanted to have a tea and they want to talk. So that's what happens when you have a sort of ideal and you don't want to remove that ideal from your mind. Okay, they were brainwashed and something like that. But when they heard let's have a tea, I thought they could have changed their mind for a second. But they didn't because they prefer, as Gabi does, to follow what they think already. And they don't pay attention to words. I think Marley people should pay attention to words more because Marley, I mean, I'm talking about the people who refused to take this tea. But yeah, I think this is the perfect example when you are purely brainwashed and you don't even want to hear a difference. You don't want to hear something that can erase all your previous life. As I already told you for Gabi, it's the same in my opinion. But yeah, it was quite amazing. And but on the contrary, I prefer Paradise because if it happened on the contrary, I mean, if Eren went over there and he said to Marley, let's have a tea, I don't think they would have taken this tea. I think they would have killed him. So the difference of approach make me stay on Paradise side. I'm talking about this specific scene, of course. Then if we talk about war, I already explained my opinion. But yeah, if I check this scene only, I can tell you I stay on Paradise side for the reason I told you. Then there is this appearance of Yelena. Elena, I think it's Yelena, and she wants to talk to Paradise people. And of course, she's quite confident because she is the follower of Zeke, and she has already heard what Zeke told her about Eren and about the Paradise people because he directly experienced all this stuff. So he knows many info she couldn't know, but she's so self-confident because she knew that probably if she accepted the tea, they didn't want to kill them. So it's better, okay, let's have a tea or something like that. It's better. So, but later I'm going to tell you my opinions regarding Yelena too, because okay. In fact, um, after the opening, let's say there is a scene in which you understand all people's feelings. I mean, all our usual protagonists' feelings towards Yelena and towards these volunteers who wanted to talk. There are John and Connie who don't believe in Yelena. I mean, they say, okay, she decided to talk, but should we trust her? I don't trust her so much. And they are still cautious. I mean, they are still suspicious about her in particular. Then we find Armin's point of view, and I like this because all of them they have different opinions and thoughts. I mean, they all approach to these new people in a different way. Even at the end, it's like this. But okay, let's analyze step by step. John and Connie, as I told you, they are totally against her. I mean, not totally, but they are still suspicious. They don't understand. Okay, why? Nobody wanted to talk to us, and she wants to talk to us. That's quite suspicious. Then we have Armin. Armin, oh, he's so positive. Okay, Armin is so positive and so optimistic. I think too much optimistic. And I think the world Armin imagines it's an utopian world because all he hopes it's really difficult that it happens. Even if it's quite beautiful, his image, I mean, his will and his future will, but it's too much optimistic in a context like this. Even if I approve and I appreciate what he says. I mean, he is saying all the times, look, we have to think that we are lucky because they wanted to share together with us many things probably, so they accepted to talk, that's quite beautiful, we can find another way. Yes, all beautiful, but we know that not all of them agree with what Yelena is doing, and even if Yelena is talking to them, that doesn't mean that all the rest of Marley wants to talk. So yeah, I understand his positive vibes, but at the same time, he should be cautious more than he is right now. I think Mikasa has the same point of view, but Mikasa, she thinks that they are lucky, but at the same time, she wants to take a step back because she knows Eren doesn't agree with this, and in fact, Eren says, "Okay, we are lucky because it was just an easy attack. But if we are completely attacked by Marley, we are all defeated." So Eren has a cynic way to see the entire story, and now it's really hard for him to change his mind so easily. So I don't know what's going to happen next, but from what I see, Eren has an opinion and he doesn't want to change his opinion no matter what other people say. He is just moving forward. That is what his Kyojin is doing. And and the purpose of his Kyojin too, and the purpose of his entire life. Do you remember when uh, before the attack he was admiring the Chosahedan so much, and no matter what people would have told him, he would have gone inside the Chosahedan no matter what. He wanted to do this, no matter if Mikasa and his mother were hantai, I mean, they were against this idea. He decided no matter what to do what he was doing. So I think it's not just a part of his Kyojin, but it's part of his attitude to life. Eren has his own opinions, and it's really difficult to change those opinions from his mind. So I think that's the typical character who just wanted to reach the goal no matter what. So, but anyway, okay. Um, and in fact, then he's telling them, let's do something. I mean, before they attack us completely, because there's the entire world against us, let's do something. So he was already thinking about the next move, and he was just waiting to check who was the proper thing to do in his mind, in his opinion. Then we already know what happened. But I still believe that there is a reason why he's doing what he's doing. And it's not just because he's spoiled and he doesn't want to hear other opinions and stuff like that. I think he has a perfect uh, picture in his mind. So I definitely think Eren is doing what he's doing because As I told you many times, it's necessary. And not because it's right or wrong, just because it's necessary. And it's something different. Because if you think something like this, I mean, if you think, okay, it's right or wrong, it's pointless that we debate if it's right or wrong. We just have to understand if this is necessary or not. And it's something different. I mean, the discussion is taking another way. But anyway, then we saw once again, as we saw in season 3, part 2, when they reached the Chikashitsu, that means the basement, they are surprised because they heard they get in touch with the new technologies, I mean, with the new ways of um, going to battle. That means Hanji is hearing, Hanji and Levi, of course, they are hearing the fact that they have these airplanes and they don't know what airplanes are because they have never get in touch with them. Or the Zeppelin or whatever. I mean, these aerial, I mean, these way to attack from the sky. And this is the reaction of Hanji is totally natural, totally spontaneous. And that makes you understand Hanji is not faking. I mean, Anji is like that. She's not imposing herself not to react how she wants. She's reacting naturally, and that makes me appreciating this character more and more because I like her attitude. She's always surprised and she's not afraid to show her feelings. But Levi, on the contrary, he is forcing himself not to be surprised in front of them. He prefers this strategical way to look at them as if he is not surprised. It's a tactic that even in war is used. You don't want to let your guards down in front of the enemy. That's a perfect war scene, even if they are just talking. But it's like an animal when he doesn't want to make you understand that he's afraid of you and he's just over there waiting that you attack this animal instead of him attacking you. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but yeah, Levi, he has this sort of attitude. I like him too, but yeah, definitely Hanji is spontaneous, and she's not paying attention on these details. In war, they are really important, but right now she doesn't feel as if they are in war. They are just talking. So there is a different perspective of this dialogue, and I really like that. Okay, then okay, let me talk about Yelena. She's explaining what she has to say, and she is telling them few things about how Marle is seeing them and what they are supposed to do. And she's introducing these weapons they have, and she is talking about Marle in a sort of a way. And then when a Hanji is saying, "Oh, you are betrayals," I mean, you are betraying Marle and stuff like that. Yelena is saying, "No, no, we are not doing this. We are volunteers. I mean, we are brave volunteers who want to help aliens instead." And why we do this is because at the beginning we were hopeless and we were powerless, and we needed someone who gave us hope again and who let us hope for something better to come. And this person is Zeke, this beast titan. And then many people see him as the devil because he's an alien and he's a titan, and his physical and his appearance as a titan quite remembers something bad and not something good. But in my opinion, he is not what other people see. He is the person who gave us hope once again, the person who make us feel powerful again. And And this reminds me somehow Kruga, because Kruga, if you remember, he said you can become a god or you can become a devil in any time. I mean, anytime you want, you can become a god or a devil. In this case, well, that's the perfect representation of Zeke because for some people, he is a devil, and for some people, like Yelena, he is like a god. And Yelena is seeing him as a prophet who's coming to save the situation, and not just for them, but for the entire alien people, to turn upside down the story and to create something different. Because I think Zika told her that he has a secret plan, he has a plan, but in order to make this plan true, he needs someone, and this is someone, of course, is Eren. But I think Yelena is exaggerating a little bit because she is idolizing Zeke as if he's God. But personally, I don't like that. Because when you exalt a person too much, you or when you idolize a person too much, you start a sort of a brainwash too, because you believe that Zeke is like a god. Then all the people who are following you, they have to think the same thing. That means Zeke is a god, blah blah blah. He's going to bring peace, or he's going to solve all these problems, etc., 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 etc. So I mean, Zeke in this case, he seems like a Ymir or Yumiru, the friend of Historia, who was put over there, and all the followers, oh, Ymir, oh, Ymir. I don't like when people idolize other people or they wanted to follow a person thinking that they are prophets or they are someone like this. I don't like that. No way. But yeah, following what Kruger said, for some people, Zeke is the devil. He is the beast titan, the person who killed other people, etc., etc., etc. But for Yelena, he is like a god. So if we follow what Kruger says, you can become a devil or you can become a god. It's up to you somehow. But it's also, in my opinion, how people perceive you. I mean, how people detect you as a person. But definitely, it's too exaggerated. And personally speaking, I have to tell you my thoughts. I Yes, I understand Zeke is on their side, but at the same time, I can tell you that I don't trust him 100%. I have this feeling that it's better if I cautiously believe in him, because I mean I'm like a John and Connie right now. I mean, hmm, it's how can I say it's too good to be true? I mean, I don't understand that Zeke because I don't know if he's doing this for Eldia or if he's doing this for himself only. I don't know if it's a matter of selfishness or if it's something that really can save Eldians. I still have this question mark. I don't trust him totally, especially when he had even this dialogue with Levi, and we are going to analyze it. But yeah, he wants to talk to Eren, but I really don't get what his main purpose is. If it's positive, if it's negative for Paradise people, if it's something he projected for himself only to uh, making himself a feeling as if he is a superior. Every time I have this feeling, every time Zeke is talking to someone coming from Paradise, even if they are the same, because they are aliens anyway. So they, for in my perspective, in my point of view, they are all the same. And when Gabi is saying we are different, no, you're the same. But it seems as if he is always a superior than them. He has this authority, this way of talk, this way of stay in front of people, as if he is the majestic Zeke, and all the others are people who are Zeke. Please tell us what we have to do, Zeke. Blah, 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 blah. We want to know. We want to know. I will tell you when I want. I mean, he has this attitude that usually people who wanted to save other people, they don't have this attitude. They are spontaneous and they want, okay, let me help you, let me tell you my plan, and blah 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 blah. I mean, I found the way to save all of us, let me tell you, let me share this thought. But in this case, Zika, he seems to be a little bit of distant. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but this type of attitude, it's not, in my opinion, the type of attitude a person has when he or she really wants to save others. It's just, oh, okay, if you let me talk to Aaron, I will tell you my plan. Or, oh, if I can talk to Aaron, or he's always putting conditions, as if he has found the key to solve all these problems, but he has to make a sort of a contract all the times. And these kind of people make me feel doubtful. He doesn't seem sincere 100%. And that's what I felt at him now. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know if I'm going to change my mind. But yeah, from last episode when he was together with the others, I had an opinion. Now I have another opinion. I mean, I don't want to trust Zeke 100%. I have a bad feeling somehow. I don't know, but okay. Um, then we see that a scene in which they are talking about Zeke, these council, I mean, these military forces are talking with Zachary, with Historia, etc., etc. And of course, they don't believe in Zeke, but I think it's quite normal. And they don't want to believe in him because of what happened. And of course, this is something crazy. What happened to them, it's really improbable to let them think, okay, now let's trust Zeke like this. I like them because they are cautious. I mean, they don't want to believe 100%, and that's the good thing to do, but they are different from Marley because anyway, they give the possibility to explain things. In the case of Marley, they didn't want to hear anything from Paradise because every time they hear about Paradise, they have one thought only. But in this case, in Paradise case, they were attacked first, so of course they don't want to believe in Zika automatically at the beginning. But then they wanted to hear what's the plan, and they wanted to hear Aaron's opinion and stuff like that. So the attitude is totally different. Even if it's hard, they still give a chance to these people who are coming from outside, to these people who attacked them at the beginning, to talk and to have a sort of match. And in this match, they have to fight the talking. Do you understand? I mean, I really liked this possibility they gave Zeke to, okay, let's try. Because until we don't try, we will never know. And that's what's making the difference. So I understand Armin when he's talking to Mikasa and to Eren, and he's saying his opinions and thoughts, and he's saying, we should give them a try. We should talk more, and we should give them time. I agree with him from this point of view. But when in that specific moment when the council, I mean, these people are talking and they are discussing and they are saying, no, no, how can we believe something like this? How is it possible? Blah, 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 blah. They are showing Flock's face. And I don't know, do you remember when Flock in season 3, part 2 said that we need a demon like Erwin, to save all these things, all these situations. Does he think now that we need a demon like Zeke to save all these things? I don't know. But Flock really wants revenge no matter what. Flock wants to exterminate. I mean, it wants to erase Marley forever. So, does he agree in this case that Zeke is coming and he's having this plan to discuss with them with some conditions, as always? And even Zachary is saying, oh, he just wanted to take the founding titan and that's it. I mean, as if, and he said he can take these with actions, with direct actions, or with a diplomacy. So even Zachary is saying, no matter what, he wants to take this founding titan. It depends how we react um, to these conditions. I mean, if we really wanted to listen to him, he is going to cooperate with us. If we don't want to hear what Zika has to say, in that case, I think he wants the founding titan no matter what. So I think anyway, Zika would have attacked him if they didn't agree with this plan, because anyway, he wants Eren because Eren is the founding titan. So that's why, from some reasons, I think Zachary is not bad. I mean, he's good with what he is saying, because then that's why I don't trust Zika 100% until now. I just I would like to see if they refuse to cooperate with Zeke, what's going to happen. Maybe he's going to attack anyway, or maybe he's going to steal Eren from them anyway by using nice words. I mean, there are different ways to corrupt people, okay? Even if I know that Eren will not be corrupted anyway. But I would be interesting. It would be interesting to see. Then we saw Pixies coming back, and this was nice. I like the Pixies, but he's saying that he wants to know more, and I think that's the best thing to do before reaching a conclusion. It's better to ask questions, as always. But yeah, when Zachary is talking about Zeke, and he's saying, he's he doing this because of diplomacy, or because he really wants to take Eren no matter what. Yes, it made me think, okay, is he doing this because of his selfishness, or is he really going to help them? Is he really is he really thinking about the consequences? I mean, all these things. I have a doubt on Zeke right now. I don't know why, but I wanted to know more about him, and I hope that in next episodes we can understand him better and better. Because should we trust him? Should we not trust him? And of course, he has this plan in mind too, the same plan as Eren had. But thanks to him, right now we can save Historia, and for some reasons, Zika is saying, Eren is saying that Zika is right, because he saw it already, season 3, part 2, at the end, the last episode. And let me tell you one thing. Do you remember when I told you that Eren still has a heart? And yes, he wants to protect Historia somehow. That makes me understand. And it's not that he's loving Historia, no. But he cares about Historia too, because they fought so much to reach that point in which Historia could have become a queen. So right now, he doesn't want to put Historia in a difficult situation and in a dangerous situation like that. So I think he still has a heart. Eren is full of heart to his comrades, and I can't believe that suddenly he became so bad. I think I already explained you the reasons why I think Eren behaves in some sort of ways, and I still believe so. I mean, I still think Eren is doing this for some reasons we still don't know, but he somehow wants to protect all his people. And in order to do this, it's better if he sacrifices himself instead of others. Um, okay, but then there is another scene when other from Marley are coming, and there is that Levi's scene in which he's welcoming these new people from Marley, and that was hilarious. I love Levi's sarcasm. I think it's one of the best things in this story. Levi is really sarcastic, and at the same time, he's really powerful with words, so he knows where to attack specifically. And yeah, I really liked that. Okay, then there is. Sorry, I'm drinking 1 second. Mm, then there is one question Sasha made to Onyankopon, sorry. And the question is, why are you black? Okay, many people said, oh, part of these people are even racists. No. To put it simply, they have never seen a black person before. So it's like when they saw the picture for the first time and they asked themselves, what's that? Or when Hanji is hearing about airplanes and she's saying, oh, from the sky? Wow, what's that? They don't know. So they are as if they are living on another planet. So when they are in touch with when they get in touch with something new, with something they have never seen before, it's obvious that the result is why. I mean, there is this spontaneous question that is why, and I didn't find it racist at all. It's just because they don't know. And when a person doesn't know one thing, the automatic question is why. So it's not, oh, why are you black? Blah, 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 we are better. No. The question is why? Because we don't know. So we need an explanation. They are not racists. People who are saying this, they just want to make racist all the people who are asking. That's stupid. Um, but the question is amazing because, and even the answer is even more amazing. I think Onyankopon is introducing um, the theme of religion, not just the Christianity, but even religion in general, because people were talking about Christianity, but it's not true. I mean, we don't have Christianity only to worship one God. We have many other religions who are worshiping one God. So I don't think it's just a Christianity only. I think it's religion in general. And when he's saying, I look, because the creator found it that it was more interesting to have different types of people. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you believe in God or if you believe in something supernatural, you believe that God created many different types of people and he's loving all these type of people no matter what, because they are all equal. Even if they are different, they are all equal. And this is quite sarcastic because nowadays too in our world racism is still a problem. And racism makes you understand that we are not the same, and people shouldn't think something like this. No matter if you believe in God or not, I think we are all equal anyway because we have all the same possibilities to shine and all the same possibilities to live. I mean, no matter if you're black or white, even if you're black, you live, I mean, you eat, you go to sleep, you have a work and stuff like that. So there is no difference. So when Onyankopon is saying that this creator found it more interesting to have different types of people, yeah, I agree, because it's better to have different types of people instead of having the same people thinking the same things, etc., like Marley do. I mean, right? It's better to have a different types of people. And in this case, I connect with Rainer when he said, when he was describing Paradise people, he said they are different types of people. And Gabi at that time was shocked because it's impossible for them to think that Paradise has different type of people. They think they are all the same, a little bit the same as they are, because in Marley you can't think differently, you can't speak in a different way, you have to think the same thing, so you have to have the same thoughts, otherwise you're different, otherwise you're a problem and stuff like that. So it's better to be different, because if you're different, you collect new ideas, you have different perspectives of the world. And another good thing he said is that we exist because he wanted us. And yeah, no matter if you believe in religion or not, um, you are here for a purpose. Sometimes I think, why are we here? There is a purpose or not for us to be here. And for sure, there has to be a reason. Um, no matter the reasons, of course, but there has to be a reason. Of course, if you believe in God or if you believe in some religions, you believe that you're here because God decided this and because God wanted us to be here. And I think here, Isayama is a little bit mocking all the racist people who say that some races are better than others. We are all wanted in this world. So we are all the same. There is not a person who's more wanted than others, or there is not a race that is more wanted than others. We are all wanted at the same time. So we are all equal. And these sentences are really beautiful because they go beyond the story. They are stepping into arguments, I mean, into subjects that are really deep, even nowadays. And so this cameo, this scene is connected to the story, of course, but it's also going far away from the story because it's something beyond. And it was really beautiful to see. Then there is another amazing question from Armin because they don't know. They don't know what a god is. They don't know what something supreme is. They don't know why they are over there. They have never asked themselves why they are living and what's the purpose of their lives. So he is asking, who created us, in your opinion? I mean, that's a nice question. I like when the people keep asking questions to themselves. And I think Armin is one of my favorite characters for this reason, because he is never thinking one thing forever. He is changing his mind. And while he's creating new theories, new thoughts, new plans, and whatever, he is always asking himself what to do, how to do it, why, how come? I mean, all questions that help him to mature, to become more mature than before. So I like Armin for sure. But yeah, who created us? That was a nice question because they don't know. And of course, Onyankopon said, some people believe it's God. It's some supreme creature or supreme supernatural entity called the God. And another great thing he said, I mean, Onyankopon in few sentences is becoming someone great because he said, many people believe in this, other people believe in something else. Everybody can have different thoughts. Everybody can believe in what they want. That's true, but that's not something happening nowadays in our world. I mean, I think Isayama with these few sentences is mocking the world, but it's giving us the key to solve many problems in our world too. And I think, yeah, Onyankopon here was even mocking Marley somehow, because he is saying, all people can have different opinions or they can believe in what they want. Yeah, but in Marley, it's impossible. I mean, in Marley, if you believe that Paradise people are great, you're sent to Paradise, or you can't say it. So in Marley, you can't have your own thoughts. You can't believe in what you want. You are forced to believe what they want. But at the same time, yeah, the world should be like this. Everybody can believe in what they want without being judged, without being discriminated. That's correct. But yeah, when he's saying something like this, he's looking a little bit at Yelena somehow, or I don't know, or he was thinking about Yelena. I don't remember if Yelena was there or not. But if you remember, Yelena thinks that Zika is a god. So as you see, she has a different opinion. I mean, she's not believing that the god created her, but she's believing that she's worshiping a god that means Zika. So all people have different opinions and thoughts, but it's good to be like this. We can agree or not agree, but these people are, they still have to be free to think what they want. That's a sort of a freedom, okay? The freedom Paradise is searching. I don't think it's just the freedom to go out. I think it's a freedom in general. What Eren is searching is freedom, but what kind of freedom? The freedom of acting. I mean, he wants to act in a sort of way. The freedom to go out. The freedom to be in another place. The freedom to be always pointed out as the devil, the devil, the devil. The freedom, this freedom is so general. It's not connected just with one purpose, that means to go beyond the walls and to go on the other side. No, the freedom to be accepted, the freedom to go out whenever you want, the freedom not to be attacked, the freedom not to be considered as demons or whatever. Many different ways to be considered free. And when Onyankopon is saying something like this, they can touch somehow this freedom in a sort of a way. I really like them. The freedom of thoughts is one of the best things. And that's why I could have never supported Marley. Because many people said, oh, if we started with the season one, with episode one of season four, we would have stand on Marley's side. No, I don't think so. No, because over there is not a freedom of thoughts. There is not a freedom of mind. There is imposition only. And I don't like that. So I don't like it now. And I wouldn't like, even in the case. No. But anyway, yes, Onyankopon was great because probably he knows that outside he was discriminated for the skin of his color, the color of his skin, sorry, or he was discriminated for other reasons. But the good thing he said is God found it more interesting to have different types of people. If you have many different ways to see one thing, it's more interesting. If you have just one way, one thought, one purpose, one way, that's quite boring, don't you think? The fact that our mind is able to think whatever we want, we have this great power. I mean, human beings, they are not superheroes, or they don't have supernatural powers, but our mind is a sort of a supernatural power because our mind is so evoluted. And thanks to this, we have the possibility to think even far beyond other people's thoughts, or far beyond our people's thoughts till now. We have unlimited resources in our mind. If we develop our skills, and we can find a universe. So the good thing is that the more you have different thoughts and different opinions, the more you can develop these skills. And that's more interesting. Um, so all people who are different, okay, sometimes is antithetical because we say, oh no, we discriminated people if we say they are different. No, if you want to be negative and you want to think like this, okay, if you wanted to see this negative perspective, yes, it's bad, but I like when people are different because they are, by being different from me, from what I am, this gives me the chance to learn more from these people. So that's good to be different, and it's so bad to be the same, to think the same, to have the same opinions and thoughts. Do you understand what I mean? It's not a racist thought. It's not racist. No. If you are different, it's better. It's more interesting. It's not racist. It's just that you, by being different, you give me new things to learn. And that's amazing. Okay, then we saw the character of Niccolo. And let me tell you, he loves Sasha, but I mean, he loves Sasha for one specific reason, because she's the only one who's appreciating so much his dishes. I mean, he's a cook, so he is cooking great things, but maybe nobody praised him as much as Sasha did. And that's why he was pleased. He was loved thanks to this thought. But on the contrary, sorry to say, but I don't think Sasha was in love with him. So all the people who are saying that at the end of her life, Sasha said Nico instead of Niku, they are wrong. First of all, because in the manga, I heard that there is the kanji of Niku, that means meat. And second of all, because she didn't like Niccolo. I mean, she was not loving Niccolo. She was loving Niccolo as a cook for her dishes. I mean, she was cooking the food made by Niccolo, but she was not loving Niccolo. So there's no reason why she would have said Nico at the end of her life. No, she was saying Niku because Niku, meat, has a deep meaning for Sasha. And I already explained it in the previous comments and thoughts. You can find it on the channel or on the playlist. But no, if you think she said Nico, that means Niccolo at the end of her life, you're making a mistake, because that's not the case. Or if she said Nico, Connie would have said it to Eren. So, no, no, I don't agree with this. But anyway, yeah. I appreciate Niccolo's character because thanks to his characters, or thanks to Onyankopon, and thanks to no, Yelena, no, because I still have a doubt on Zeke. So, and also because she's too convinced that Zeke is a god, that I don't like her. I mean, as I told you, I don't like when people idolize other people as if they are god. I don't like that. But yeah, people like Onyankopon and people like Niccolo, I like them because no matter if they are Marle, I mean, no matter if they come from Marle, they can show them a different thing. And by the thing I said before, you should appreciate something different from usual. So I think that, yeah, of course, there are even Marley people who are good. Nobody said the contrary. I mean, I said it because at the beginning I said all Marley, they are wrong, or they are not innocent for these reasons. Blah, blah, blah. But of course, here I understood that if they give the chance to Paradise people to show what they are, they can become even good people. The fact is that Marley didn't want to give a single chance to Paradise to show them the difference. Just Onyankopon, Niccolo, and all these volunteers, not all of them. I agree with Eren, because Eren said not all of them, they believe we are good. There are still people who believe us as monsters. Yes, he's right. He's totally right. But anyway, yeah, there are some people who can be good just because they gave the chance to Paradise people to show them, to prove them wrong. Otherwise, they would have thought the same. If Zeke didn't tell them, oh, look, there are even good people in Paradise, or go and make a relationship with the Paradise people, probably they wouldn't have done it. No, probably they would have kept going on with the same thoughts. But okay, the fact that they gave the chance to Paradise people to prove them wrong, that was nice. But yeah, I don't think Nicolo was corresponded. I mean, Sasha didn't love Nicolo at all. She just loved the food because that's what Sasha did. All throughout all her life, when there was good food, she appreciated it. But Nicolo loved her, yes, but Sasha, no, no. Okay, then we see Mikasa. Oh, I wanted to say this. Mikasa with the skirt. Oh, tell me if in the manga we see Mikasa with the skirt. The reason why I say this is because if in the manga there is not this scene, it makes me believe that Mappa wanted to put her a skirt just because many people said, "Oh, Mikasa is like a man," and it's not. I mean, she's beautiful. I love Mikasa. I think she's quite feminine, and I already told you, she personifies all kinds of love, and she's a woman. I love her so much. She can be like a mom, like a sister, like a lover, like a best friend. She can be everything. So she's good. But yeah, she looks really nice with that skirt. She's really beautiful. With the skirt or with the pants, it doesn't matter to me. But she's always good. But that was a proof that all the people who said, "Oh, Mikasa looks like a man," blah 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 blah. No, she's a woman, and I love her so much. Okay, then we reach that scene in which there is Armin, Mikasa, and Eren talking about the situation. That was a great scene, in my opinion, because Armin and Mikasa see all these things in a different way. They hope for something good. They still hope. They are still hanging on the hope that everything can be solved if they talk, if they have more time, and if they have a way to talk and to show Marle that they are not bad, that they are something good. As much as they saw that Onyankopon, Nicolo, and all the others who are talking to them in a different way, as much as they see that they can, Armin thinks that also the rest of Marle can. It depends on how you approach them. It depends on the dialogue. It depends on your effort to show them, to prove them wrong. And Mikasa believes this too because she doesn't want to start a new war. She doesn't want to start something bad or something that can put all her friends in danger. So of course, if you ask me, do you prefer that they talk or do you prefer a war? I also prefer that they talk. And I also prefer that they find a compromise, but at the same utopia. I mean, it's utopic, full of utopical thoughts, this kind of way. I think what Armin is thinking is not possible. It's quite too optimistic, and yeah, it's an utopia. It's not possible. It's not easy, and it's really, really difficult to change all people's mind regarding this subject. So I understand him and I agree with him, but at the same time, I think that what he believes is quite impossible to do. So I also hoped that Marley could accept Paradise people, or that aliens living in Paradise living in Marley can accept aliens living in Paradise because they understand that they are all the same. I mean, Gabi can turn into a alien living in Paradise. If she was saying that the Paradise people are not demons, she would have gone over there too. So she would have become an alien living in Paradise if there was the chance. So they are all the same over there. But yeah, Armin is thinking that Marley people are not bad. They are not all bad, and they can be cooperative if they can talk more. Or they are still cooperative because they showed them different things they didn't know, etc., etc., etc. But I open a bracket. I'm still doubting on Zeke, and here's his purposes. So I hope Armin is not tricked by Zeke and by this kindness of Yelena to show them everything, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if this was so simple, I think that the story would have finished before. Yeah, before 139 chapters. I mean, if the story was so simple like that, okay, let's do this, the story is finished. So that's why I still feel doubtful, because there has to be something that it's not going well. And that's why I hope Armin is not tricked by all this beauty, by all this new perspective, by all these people who seem to be kind, who seem to give them other chances to prove them wrong, stuff like that. I hope there is not something bad coming, because Armin could be tricked as much as we were tricked regarding Zeke when we discovered he's on Paradise side. Is he really on Paradise side? I don't know, but that's why, yes, Armin says not all Marley people are bad. Yes, if we talk about Nicolo or Onyankopon, I can trust them more, because anyway, they are, Onyankopon is following Zeke. So if Zeke is wrong, he also doesn't know, or he also can be tricked. Do you understand? Nicolo, of course, he's a Marley. He's a Marley person. He's not a part of this alien organization. So he was not on their side since the beginning. If you see, he was caught by Hanji and the others. So it doesn't matter. Nicolo is an exception, okay? But regarding Onyankopon, or even by Zeke, so if Zeke is tricking even all of them, wow. That's why, Armin, be careful, because everything you see is not the shining, it's not gold only. You should keep an eye, and you should keep asking questions to yourself until you definitely see that everything is going good. You should be suspicious a little bit, not believing in everything you see just because you see them. And people who say that Gabi is doing the same, no, Gabi is not doing the same. Gabi wants to see things, wants to see evidences, but at the same time, so she doesn't even want other people to talk about these evidences, or if there are evidences, she doesn't want to listen. So that's different. But anyway, okay, Armin, he's propositive. I mean, he wants to talk more. He wants to create a dialogue with by having more time. He wants to change Marley's opinions by showing them that Paradise people are good. And that means that he wants to transform the fear these people have in comprehension. I mean, he wants that people start believing or start realizing that Paradise people are not bad, and it's just an ideological thought that was put inside of their minds since the beginning, and that's it. I mean, this is good, because usually in real life, we judge people from physical appearance, and we judge people from the surface, from what we see. And that's wrong, because we should get in touch with these people more in order to understand who these people are. But most of the times, even nowadays, we don't do this. We judge people. Oh, he has that skirt. Oh, or she has that skirt. Oh, that's so bad. We judge people just from what we see or from what we heard, and that's even worse. So Armin wants to do something different. He wants or he hopes that people get in touch with them more so they can understand, oh, they are not so bad as we thought. A little bit like Rainer, okay? um, Look, Sasha didn't have any prejudice in front of Onyankopon. She was just asking a question because she didn't know why. But she was not treating Onyankopon differently just because he was black. No, that's an example. Um, I really like when Armin is saying this. Is the march of the tens of millions of the colossal titans the only way to save us? Nice question. If we look on the point of view of Eren, yes. If we look on Armin's point of view, no. But what Armin is hoping, I don't think it would have happened. I mean, I think it's too optimistic. It's something we all wanted. I mean, we all hoped that Marley and the Paradise one day they would agree and they would have made this end of this eternal war. But that's not happening, in my opinion. Because as I told you already in the previous episodes, it's so hard to change all these people's minds. It's so hard. Not impossible, or yes, somehow, but really difficult. And you can change maybe some people's minds, but not entirely. There will always be someone who is believing something different. And it's really hard. So, also, in my point of view, at the beginning of season 4, I told you it's better to erase everything because everything is wrong. So, uh, I don't think we can erase the thought of the tens of millions of colossal. I think that's the only way. Sorry to say this, because I would also like, usually I am like Armin. I mean, usually I am the type of person to believe everything positive and everything. Or if you push yourself and you are determined, you can change things. That's what I believe usually. But in this situation, I think everything is so far beyond this possibility. And I mean, all the actions happened until now make me understand that there is no other solution because otherwise other people wanted the revenge, then other people they can create another organization against the paradise once again, etc, etc. There will always be pain somehow, so it's really hard to turn everything upside down with words only. Even if this is what I hope. I am like Armin for some reasons, and I am like Eren for other reasons. So I can't decide. In fact, Armin says we need more time, but the Armin, you don't have time. I mean, Armin, they have already declared war. Or, okay, he said this before the declaration of war, but anyway, Marley wanted the Shiso Titan, so they didn't want to listen to you. Look, even Bertolt didn't want to listen to you when you wanted to talk to him. Think about it. Bertolt probably was even kinder than the Marley military forces. So if Bertolt didn't hear you, Armin, how are you supposed to think that all Marley military forces are going to listen to you? No. Even if we like a world full of peace, and we all hope a world full of peace, in this case, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. See, At the beginning of this episode, some Marley military forces, they reached the Paradise, they didn't even want to talk. Even if there was the chance from Paradise to tell them, look, let's get a tea all together and let's talk, they didn't want. It's really hard. Really hard. Anyway, Eren doesn't agree with this, of course. And when Armin said, "Oh, maybe there was maybe we can erase those misunderstandings they had towards us. I mean, maybe we can understand that we can change things. We can understand why they have this misunderstanding towards us, and we can change their minds." And he said, "What? What are you talking about? They always think that we are demons. How many people don't think so? Just few, because all the others, they are in prison right now." He is right. He is objective. And I can't say he is wrong, because even if a few of them changed their mind by having an approach with them, by living with them on the same island and stuff like that, what about all the others? As Onyankopon said, we are all different types of people. We are all different. So it's impossible. As much as I don't like when all people think the same things, it's impossible to change minds to all people and to let them have the same opinion on this thing. I don't think so. I admire Armin because he always wanted to solve this peacefully. I really admire him. But I don't think it's possible. Even if he tries his best, because Armin he's really skillful. I mean, when we are talking about having a discussion or having a dialogue, he is always saying great things. And I can feel his pain, because of course, if we watch this from an objective way, of course dialogue is the best thing to do. Of course dialogue is the best solution in order to solve this. But it would be too good to be true. That's what I believe. It would be too good to be true. Anyway, then there is this it's not a funeral scene, but it's the graveyard scene. Wow, as I was telling you, Mikasa is so sad because she lost one of the new friend she had since the beginning of this story, except for Eren and Armin. And she stayed there throughout the entire day. That makes you understand how Sasha became important to her throughout these years. And Mikasa is so full of a heart. She doesn't care about herself. She's always paying attention on others. And the risk is, when you pay attention more on others than yourself, you're going to feel pain, lots of pain in the future. And in fact, that's what happened. No matter, I'm not talking about Sasha only, I'm talking about Eren, for example. She always pushed herself and she gave all of her heart to Eren. But she didn't understand that Eren wants freedom, and he can't do what she is supposed to think he will do. I mean, she thinks that it's better for Eren to behave in a sort of a way, but she can't expect that Eren is following what she says just because he has to do it for herself. He is free. I mean, Eren has this motto, to be free. And to be free, it means that you are not under the conditions of others. years. So I understand Mikasa's pain because as a mother, she hopes Eren can come back as before. But she also knew that this is impossible. It's just a utopia. It's just a hopeless hope, let's say, because she knows, she already knows she lost Eren, that type of Eren, and he can never come back. But anyway, yes, talking about that scene, yeah, Sasha was really important to Mikasa. And throughout these years, she collected so many memories, so many good thoughts about her. And the fact that she died was heartbreak. Yeah, heartbreaking. Um, a good thing I see that is antithetical, that is totally the contrary from the beginning of this story, is when John and Connie try to stop the garrison who wants to kick a Marley person, that is Niccolo. That was good to see because these are clear examples that if you talk more and if you go beyond the prejudices, you can change the world. But in that context, if you do it with one person, it's possible. If you do it for an entire nation, that's not possible. So even if I like this exception, I don't think it's probable. I don't think it's possible for an entire world to accept Paradise. It's unbelievable. Even in real life, even nowadays in real life, not all people of this world think that we are all the same. We have all the same rights, all the same things. So how is it possible in that context? No. And I'm not a cynic. I would hope for the best, but this story doesn't make me feel as if everything will go on in a nice way. So, and another good thing, after we see that John and Connie try to protect Niccolo from the garrison member, the staff, John is also saying sorry to Niccolo because Sasha died. This is something unbelievable. They would have never done it before. But this is the power of words, the power of get the chance to discover the others without prejudices. In fact, Niccolo now is part of them. He found people and he got in touch with them. He knew that they are not what people are spreading throughout the world. That's good. That's amazing. But can this be possible for the entire world? No, I don't think so. And then, we finally understand what was Sasha for Connie. He lost a part of himself. The pain he felt when he lost Sasha was provable because we saw from Connie's eyes he lost a part of himself. And that was good because usually we see Connie as the laughable guy, the guy who's always laughing about stuff and who's not taking seriously all these things, etc., etc. But he matured. I mean, he became something different from before. And all characters are changing from the beginning of the story because all characters are facing pain, loss, suffering, changements. I mean, they are facing something different and they are growing up. When you grow up, it's not always a good thing. You can grow up even in the worst way, and this is one of the worst way. And another thing I love to look at when we saw Sasha's dad, I was expecting this. I mean, I told you already probably. I was hoping to see his face once again. And wow, what Nicolo did was amazing because he explained what Sasha was for him, and with few words, the father understood that he loved his daughter. And when Nicolo said, "Look, would you like to eat my food?" And the reaction of this father is amazing. The fact that he says, "Yes, of course," and he's shaking hands with him. Ah, that was amazing. But then when he said, "Look, can we eat your food in my home?" Because probably he thought, "Oh, do I have to pay if I go to his restaurant or something?" I mean, I think so. But I love Sasha's father, and we lost one of the best characters, in my opinion. Still, yes, I still believe so. Oh, let's go on to this scene, Levi versus Zeke. Uh, when Zeke says, these people who are reading the newspapers, they say you won, but they are quite ignorant because they don't know things. Look, I don't like Zeke. I don't know what his plan is. I don't trust him. Not at all. Mm, no. There has to be something we don't know. I don't trust him. Because when he said, there is a lot of ignorance here, blah, 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 does he mock these people because he's tricking them once again? Hmm. But anyway, Levi doesn't change his mind. He wants to kill him. And it's quite coherent. I like Levi because of his coherence. He doesn't change his mind, and that's good. I think no matter what's happening, he is going to kill him because he can't stand him, and because of all the pain he let them feel. So there's no chance. Even if his plan is good, even if he's doing the best thing he can, or he's going to save all of them. I think Levi can sense things. Okay, that's why I don't trust Zeke still. Uh, something bad is happening. I don't trust. Even if I was really surprised at the episode before and I was convinced that he was on Paradis' side at the end of the day for many reasons, but does this plan is this plan real? Or is it for real that he wants to save them? Or is he doing this just because he wants to inherit the Shiso and become powerful and to destroy the world? I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know. Because then he said, I wanted to talk to it, and no. Always these conditions. As I told you at the beginning of this live streaming, when a person wants to save others, he doesn't put conditions. He wants to do it freely, for free, and immediately. So that's why I feel quite suspicious still. Yeah. Then we found Yelena that is giving them, I mean, to Pixies and all the others, these serums. The purpose, what's the purpose of this serum? I mean, Zeke has still 3 years, so of course they have to turn someone into a titan in order to eat Zeke, right? But in front of them they have lots of serum. Why? Why? Yeah, of course, Yelena wants to prove them. Oh, we are friends. We gave you all of the instructions. We gave you all the info. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but why? I still don't believe them. I mean, at this point, I should have said, "Look, they are friends. They gave you everything." Now, I don't trust them. And in fact, the Pixies is suspicious too, because they are surrounding these people, Yelena and all the others, by pointing the guns and the weapons towards them. Because I don't know how to explain this. If Zeke is really a good person and he wants to good and he wants to save them, the story was not so long. The story would have been shorter because now we have everything. We have the solution. We can defeat everybody from on the other side. Blah blah blah. So that's over. That's finished. That's why I still feel that there is something else I don't understand. Zeke's purpose is that one he said, or there is something else. Let's see when he will talk to Eren. Because when he will talk to Eren, probably I will understand. I don't know. Then we discovered that the hotel is the forest, the same forest of season 1, when they attacked Annie. Why he has to stay over there? I mean, why Zika has to stay over there? Maybe because if he transforms, he can't attack? I don't know why. Because the trees are too big. And when he transforms, he can't go out from it? No. There has to be another reason. I don't know, but... And then we saw Gabi and Falco, and Gabi, she's still going on with her idea to kill Eren. But their lives depend on Zeke. Zeke's, let's say, Zeke's attitude or Zeke's behavior. So Zeke has also this responsibility. Because otherwise, Gabi and Falco are going to be killed, probably, or they are going to be punished. We don't know. I think... Okay, let me say one thing. Now that Gabi discovers that Zeke is a traitor, okay, he betrayed Marley, why she doesn't want to kill Zeke instead? I mean, why she's focusing on Eren only? You should focus on Zeke too, because he betrayed you. I mean, he showed you that he lied to you all this time. Why Gabi is not against Zeke? I don't understand. She is always against Eren, no matter what. Okay, we understood that, blah, 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 blah. He attacked the blah, 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 blah. Why you don't say anything against Zeke too? I think Zeke made something even worse than Eren, because he was staying there next to you all throughout all these years, and he was faking to take care of you, to stay on your side. So why you don't care about Zeke, but you're always focusing on Eren? And that's quite stupid, and it's not coherent, in my opinion. Okay, you are against Eren for those reasons, so you should be against Zeke for many other reasons. But she's always saying, Eren, Jäger, okay, but what about Zeke, Jäger? Then there is the ending scene, in which Mikasa is saying, fight or die, win and live. This reminds me the scene in which Eren is saving Mikasa in season 1, when there is that episode in which they explain us Mikasa's story and why Mikasa is living with the Jaegers, I mean with Eren's family. And at that time too, Eren was repeating "Tatakae, Tatakae." I mean, fight, fight. He was pushing Mikasa so hard in order to find the courage, the courage to attack. Okay, that person, in order to save him from that thief who wanted to kill them. Okay, and at that moment too, Eren fought to save Mikasa. That makes me understand that Eren wants to fight not just for himself, once again. I mean, he's repeating the same things when he was saving someone else. I mean, he is repeating that I have to fight, fight, fight. The only way to win is to fight, fight. Okay? He was repeating this also to Mikasa in season 1 when he was rescuing Mikasa, okay? And he was saying to Mikasa, come on, you have to fight if you wanted to win, if you wanted to live, if you wanted to go on living, you have to fight in this specific moment. So I still believe Eren is doing this not for himself, but to save others. As much as he said it at that time when there was that moment in which Mikasa and Eren were in a difficult situation, he has to fight for others, not for himself. I still believe he's doing this to save all his dear people. And when he says fight, fight in front of the mirror, he's saying this to himself, to convince himself to do what he has to do in order to protect others. He's just convincing himself to do so. Because if he's not doing this, people are going to die. His dearest people are going to die. So, in order to prevent this, he has to go on doing even bad things to save others. Because if it's about him, he doesn't care anymore. I mean, if he has to go on living with the regret he couldn't save others, no. He prefers to sacrifice himself to save others even by doing bad things? Yes. The same sacrifice we were talking about episode 59, he is doing this. I mean, he is doing even bad things, or he's deciding bad things, he's making bad decisions somehow. Yes, he's doing this, but the reason is that it's necessary to do this in order to save his people. And if this means that he has to do what he is doing and doing bad things and take all this guilt for himself only, it's okay. I mean, from his point of view, it's okay. If I have to see all pain, regret, suffering, etc., to reaching me only, that's okay. If it's going to reach my dearest people, no, it's not okay. That's why I prefer to sacrifice myself. If I have to handle or to carry this burden to myself only, I mean, if I have to carry this burden, it's okay. If my dearest people have to carry this burden, no, it's not okay, because I don't want them to suffer. So it's better even if I do bad things, it's better if I become the target of Marley, not them. And if that means that I have to become bad, in front of their eyes, it's okay. If that means they are going to hate me for what I do, and we separated this path we have in common, it's okay. Because if they can be saved and I will die, because I will die anyway. So it's better if I die in whatever ways. I don't care. But this separation of a path is useful for Eren, because Eren wants to save others, in my opinion. So now, if they have divergent ideas, if they have different ideas, and Eren now is bad, and they think that he is bad, so they are going to detach themselves from him, that's the best thing, because that's what he wants. The reason why he wants this is because if they change the path and they are against him, they are going to be saved. That's what I believe. So probably in the future, if I go on with this theory, in the future, probably Mikasa, Armin, and all the others will go against Eren. And that's what he wants. Because if they go against him and if they start hating him, he feels better. Because if that's the way they can be saved, they can hate me. I am ready to carry this burden. I'm ready to sacrifice my entire life for the sake of others. That's his words in episode 59. So it's difficult. It's not easy. Even for Eren to go against all his dearest people, to be hated by them, to not be understood by people, especially by them, to do bad things, to sacrifice himself. It's not easy. So people are, I mean, if I'm good, if I'm saying the proper thing, and if my theory is correct, all the people who are saying, no, Eren, what are you doing? You're so bad, and you changed the blah, 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 blah. Before judging him, we should understand him. I mean, before judging from what we see only, we should think, why is he doing this? Is there a reason why Eren is sacrificing his entire life for the rest of the people? We should ask more. I mean, this story gives you the chance to ask yourself questions. As much as Armin does, look, we praise Armin because he wants to know more and he wants to go beyond the prejudices, and because he wants to give other people the chance to explain themselves, and in order to find an agreement. Okay, why we don't do this for Eren too? We should comprehend Eren more, or we should find a reason why he's doing this. I don't think Eren one day woke up and he said, okay, I hate everybody. Now I'm going to kill everybody. Yeah. I'm so happy. I don't think so. I don't think so. Otherwise, he didn't want to save Historia, for example. He said, okay, who cares? Historia, come here. We are going to transform you into a titan. You're going to eat blah, blah, blah. Who cares? He didn't want to. If he really doesn't care, he would have not said this about Historia. Okay, many people say, but if Eren cared, he didn't ask them to come and save him. Yeah, but at the same time, if he's going to be killed, the plan is not succeeding. Okay, he risked Sasha's life. That's true. But do you think Eren doesn't feel the regret? Or do you think Eren is happy now? I don't think so. I don't think so. He is not. Another thing. When he's shooting with the gun in this episode, okay? And when he's shooting, we see once again the Sasha's scene, okay, of her death because the bullet is going inside her body. That connection was beautiful because that shooting, I mean, when he's shooting with the gun, and then there is the connection with the Sasha's scene, death scene. There are two options. I give you two options. The first option is that the more he is having these vengeful, I mean, these revenge thoughts, the more there was the risk for someone to die, and in fact, Sasha died. I mean, thanks to this will of revenge, blah 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 blah, Eren didn't pay attention on the risk that Sasha could have died, and this is what could have died. Sorry, and this is one option. So there is this connection. The more you want the revenge, the more you want to go on with your own plan, the more there has to be even the risk of losing people you love. The second option I give you is in that moment, did he see from the future that the Sasha was about to die? But he didn't understand exactly when. I mean, it's like a Kruger, if you want to save Amika's Armin and all the others, then you have to do blah, 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 blah. Kruger saw something from the future. Maybe Eren saw Sasha's death from the future in the same moment he was shooting with the gun, because she was dying thanks to a shotgun. So in that moment, as much as he saw other things, Eren, okay, maybe he saw, thanks to that shotgun he was using, he saw already that Sasha was about to die. And if this is happening in the future, he can't change the story. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, there is one direct connection throughout all this story, and you can't change this story. Once you see that scene from the future, you already know that this is happening, and you can't change it, in my opinion. I don't know if you understand what I mean. For example, if I see in the future, Kruger is hearing someone saying, if you wanted to save Mika's Armin, etc., etc., blah, 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 blah. That thought is from the future. That means it's like an instruction of what to do, but at the same time, you can't change the story. So when Eren saw that Sasha was about to be killed, it's just a premonition. It's not something he can change. So when he saw that scene, probably he, of course, throughout the years, already knew that Sasha was about to die, and he couldn't change it. That's what I believe. Because I don't believe that Eren is so masochist to say, I know that Sasha is dying, so let her die anyway. I don't care. I don't have this feeling. I have the feeling that there is one precise story, one precise destiny, and this destiny can't be changed. And Eren is just a passive viewer of this story. I mean, Eren, when he is collecting all these memories from the future, he is passive. He can't change the story. He just has to live it. And that's even more painful because he knows what's happening, but he also has to live it, to feel it. So maybe that laugh, do you remember last episode? Okay, fourth option. Maybe that laugh is an hysterical laughter, but that hysterical laughter means, I saw it already. I knew it would have happened already. That means he's recognizing the power to see things in the future too. It could be. Could be. But anyway, sorry to say, I don't know what your opinions are, but I can't see Eren as the bad guy. No, no. Um, I'm still on Eren's side because if he is doing what I think he's doing, he is great. Because he prefers to collect the pain for himself instead of sharing it with others. And he's really great. If he's doing what I'm saying that he's doing, if it's something different, I will discover it later, for sure. And I will be the first one to say, Eren, you're bad. But till now, I don't believe so. I believe Eren is doing what he's doing for a certain purpose. And the certain purpose is to save others. Because he doesn't care anymore. He's going to die. He already knows this. He's ready to die. So he will have the final punishment anyway, because he's going to die. He is cursed. So, but the others, his dearest people, are not cursed yet. Okay, Armin, yes, because he transformed into the Colossal, but let's say all the others. Probably, oh, okay, wait a second. Probably, if he's going to sacrifice himself and he's going to finish all this, the curse on Armin will finish. I have this feeling now. I mean, if Eren decides to sacrifice himself and he is going to destroy the world and he's going to die, and the mission is completed, let's say, maybe Armin will not die anymore. Because he's going to sacrifice. That means probably Armin can be saved. And if he knows that by doing this he can save everybody, it's okay. If I have to be cursed and the other they are not, that's perfect. I don't know. I could stay here hours and hours and hours to talk about Eren. I think he's one of the best characters ever. Because he's confusing you. But if you learned what Eren is till now, you understand that he's not a bad guy. I hope so. Or am I just convincing myself? But okay. Okay. When he says a tatakai to himself, he knows that it's hard. And he already felt the pain in this season 4 for what he did. He used the Falco. He saw Sasha dying. So tatakai, that tatakai that is repeating to himself, is it because he doesn't have to forget what's his mission, or because he doesn't have to forget the trust that he has for himself, because he doesn't have to give up no matter what, because it's really hard, but he has to do it for all the others. And because even if he's going to receive lots of hate from others, he has to handle it. This is really hard. Try to understand. You are doing a good thing for others, but others don't get it and don't understand this. And on the contrary, they are going to hate you. This is really hard to handle. Because you really wanted to tell them, look, I'm doing this to rescue you. But if he's going to tell them, they don't agree with this. So they will never understand him. It's better to stay silent and go on. And by going on, you feel lots of regrets because you want to probably to tell them you love them. But on the contrary, you're going to tell them you hate them, for example. Or because he has to fight no matter what. And he was always surrounded by friends. But at this point, those friends are becoming his enemy. That's really hard to handle, guys. Let's put ourselves in Eren's position more. Isayama was great because now he's turning the main protagonist into the main villain. Let's say the antagonist, not villain, the antagonist. And He's making believing this. I mean, he wants that people believe that Eren is bad now and he doesn't care anymore. Yeah, I don't think so. Isayama, if you wanted to trick me this time, you couldn't. Because I don't believe it. I believe Eren is a good guy. And if he can save what he can save, that's his mission. Yes. Okay, 1 second. I wanted to talk about really quick about this monologue Armin had in front of Annie. I totally understand his point of view, and I really admire Armin because he is a good guy. He always tried to save the situation when he could, or even when it was impossible to do it. He did always the best for everybody. And when he said to Annie 3 years ago, we still could have changed the things. That's true. That's true. I'm not saying the contrary. That's true. Was it possible? Difficult. That means even Armin is full of regrets, full of sadness, full of repentance. Oh, what a hard life in Shingeki no Kyojin. But anyway, the message here is that you can't go back in time. You can go back in time in Eren's case with memories he collected from Grisha or Armin himself collecting memories from Bertold, but you can't go back in time to change things. You have to face reality as it is. And this is really painful. So I understand Armin and his regrets because probably he said, if I had another attitude or if I had another behavior, I could have saved the world in a different way. That's a heavy burden Armin has too. But he can't change things anymore. So it's really hard for him to go on living. Yes. Another great thing he says, we were tamed. I mean, we were considered as demons, but not all of them. They were enemies. Yes. But why they were not enemies, all of them, is because they decided to give you a chance to prove them wrong. But Armin, that doesn't mean that all Marley wants to do so. That doesn't mean that the entire world wants to give you this possibility. So thank you, Onyankopon, Nicolo, and the others, because they gave you the chance to explain that you're not bad. But there are other people who will not give you this possibility. And we have to be objective. We can't leave this as a fairy tale in which, yeah, after I talk, everybody will change his opinion. One thing, it was Willy Taiba, okay, that was on their side, hypothetically, and he could trick people easily with the power of words. But you, Armin, are from Paradise. So, of course, there will be people who don't believe you, even if you prove them, even if there is an evidence in front of you. One thing is Gabi, for example. Even if she had evidences like Reiner, that is a great evidence because it's her cousin. No matter Reiner's eyes, no matter what Reiner said, no matter she doesn't want to believe it because she didn't see it. But let me tell you honestly, even if Gabi is going to see her in front of her eyes, everything, I still doubt if she can change her mind. She's too stubborn. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to change my mind. If she can change her mind, wow, I will support her. But I don't think so because of the attitude that she still has. As I told you, she wants revenge against Eren. Eren. What about Zeke? Oh, Zeke. Oh, hello. He betrayed. That's even worse if we consider it. But she keeps Eren. Gabi, I wanted to remind you that the plan was Zeke's plan. So Udo and Zofia were killed because of Zeke. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, Eren went over there alone, but he was supported by Zeke because he had the baseball ball next to him. That means that Zeke supported what Eren was about to do. So, Gabi, you should think about Zeke too. Then he said, I'm talking about Armin, of course. Did we do the right choice? See, every time Armin is asking questions to himself, and I love him. I really love Armin. He's one of the best characters. All characters are the best. But could things go on differently? Yes. Did we do the right choice? Nice question. Nice question. We will see it only at the end. I mean, at the end, we will discover if Eren's plan was good or was wrong. That's it. But we can't say it now. We can't. But could things go on differently? Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. And here, Armin is starting not understanding Eren anymore. But in my opinion, that's what Eren's plan is. I mean, Eren's plan is that they start hating him and they start not comprehending him so they can... Bad person, Eren, is going away from good people so they can be saved. It's part of the plan. So the fact that Armin can't understand Eren anymore, in the meantime, Eren is saying, yokatta, thank you. Finally, they are detaching themselves from me because that's what I want. And I want this not because I hate them, but because I love them. So here we see the paths dividing into two parts. And after all happened, it's obvious Armin doesn't understand Eren. Obvious. And it's really sad for Armin because he's losing the friend he has always rescued, the friend he has always saved. And he knows that this time he can't save him. He has always saved Eren, always. But this time he can't. And this is really painful for him. Because I think Armin wanted to do everything to save Eren from his thoughts, from what he became. But he doesn't know that Eren did this on purpose. So he doesn't want to be saved this time. It's good to be like this. Because even Armin can't be invincible all the times to save Eren when it's the proper time. No. There has to be one time in which Armin understands he can't save him this time. It's painful. Yes. Yes. But it's necessary. Don't forget this word. Because nobody said that what Eren did till now was good or was bad. It's just necessary. Even Mikasa doesn't understand Eren anymore. But she still has the love for Eren as before. Because when you love a person, as a mother, in this case, when a mother loves a son or a daughter, no matter what's happening, that love will never vanish. No matter all the mistakes, no matter all the problems, no matter all the pain, that love will never change. And I think Armin is like a father to Eren because he's always saving the son when he needs, because he's always paying attention to what he's doing, because he's saying the proper things when they have to be said, blah, 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 blah. But Mikasa still has that flame inside of her heart. Maybe because she's an Ackerman. And as I told you many times, Eren is like a king. And Ackerman are always protecting the king, no matter what. But if we see it from another side, she is like a mom. And a mom can never betray her son, no matter what. It's a promise she made to Carla. She can't break that promise. Then, Armin, I'm still talking about Armin. Eren could have made everything by himself, even without us. But he made us, killing lots of people. Yeah, that could be true. But at the same time, I don't think he could have made it alone. No matter how Eren is trying to push other people away, he still needs people around him. And now that he has a perfect plan, in his opinion, he needs people around him to reach that goal. But if he could have had the chance to make everything by himself, he would have done it. But the problem is that Armin or Mikasa would have never accepted it. And in fact, they came. Also because, let me tell you one thing. Eren wrote a letter in which he said, please come, probably, please come when you will see that I am almost at the end. They decided to come. They could have decided not to come too, but they decided to come. So it's their own choice. It's not Eren's fault. Do you understand? I mean, Eren sent these letters, but they decided to come and rescue him. So it's not Eren's fault. It's their decision to come. Even if they already didn't agree Eren's point of view, they came anyway. Because even if Zeke planned all this and Armin made it, technically speaking, I mean, Armin made this plan strategically speaking, but Zeke made the main plan, okay, of this declaration of war attack. But anyway, if a person like Levi didn't want to come, he didn't come. Because Levi's attitude, Levi's behavior is not the type of person who is following Zeke no matter what. Even if Zeke is saying that the water is blue or the water is pink, Levi would have never said, oh yes, it's pink. No. So they decided to come to save Eren or to attack Marle. So people who say, oh, it's Eren's fault that they come and Sasha died. Okay, but they decided to come. At the end of the day, they could have refused. But love is more powerful. They care about Eren. They had to come to save him. Even if Angie said, we had a trust on you, but now we lost that trust. Ugh. Maybe they said it because they want Eren to come back and think what he did. And what he did was wrong. But I don't think so. I don't think that they lost completely the trust on Eren. Or if they did it, oh, that's perfect. Because that's what Eren wanted. That's Eren's plan. So, good job. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, Eren's plan is more complicated than we think. And it's not just, oh, Eren turned bad. Yeah, he wants revenge on everything. He wants to destroy everything. He doesn't care anymore. Nah. No. And then he said, Armin said, we have killed, erased, let's say, all hope of peace. But there is no other choice. As much as you did, Annie. Yeah, but Armin, you were the first one at the beginning to say, look, we have to sacrifice some lives if we wanted to reach the goal. You were the one saying this. So at that time, Armin, dear Armin, at that time you also could have changed the things, but you said we have to sacrifice lives in order to reach that goal. So yeah, Eren is bad for what he did, blah 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 blah. But at that time, you also decided to sacrifice lives to obtain that goal. I know that you have a peaceful thought of a peace and to change things in the best way. We also have, or we also hoped that. But once we saw reality of in the story, I mean, once we saw the reality as it is, shikatanai, there's no other choice. Then I like that he was talking to Annie. Because let me tell you honestly, even if here in this story there is not this concept of a romance or something like that, I still believe Armin loved Annie somehow. And when he discovered she was the female Titan, that was a tragedy for him because he didn't want to believe this. He liked Annie, in my opinion. And if you understand this, when Armin is in a difficult place, I mean, when Armin is hopeless, like he is now, the one and only person who is in front of him is Annie. Because he could have said these things to Mikasa, for example, no, that is his best friend, but he chose Annie. So I don't know, probably Annie is listening. Because do you remember the Warhammer is moving the eyes, even if she was crystallized. I mean, she was inside of her cocoon. She could move her eyes and see what was about to happen to her. Annie is not moving. She has her eyes closed. Does that mean that she's listening anyway? It could be. But I still remember Annie when she said, look, both Marley and the Paradise people are wrong because they all want to get what they want. I mean, they want to go on with their purposes no matter what, and they don't care about others. Yes, that's true. Annie was really objective at that time, but she was just a girl, tiny girl, a teenager, but she got it already. And I don't know, Annie, I don't know what's going on with Annie. I mean, I don't know what's about to happen because I can't wait when they break this glass, this sort of glass. And I can't wait. I don't think Annie will be eaten as much as the Warhammer. I think and I hope they will ask her opinions before. I don't know, but I hope they can create a dialogue with her before killing her. Yeah. Let's see. But anyway, yeah, look, I'm not saying Armin is wrong. No. I'm just saying that he's too optimistic and I understand his point of view and I agree with him because I also wanted a happy ending for this story. But the more we go on, the more I realize there will not be a happy ending. We will cry. Look, I cried even in the last episode. I think I started my tissue story. I think there will not be a happy ending. And even if I hoped so, but I'm not following this illusional path of a good ending, even if I want so. But let's see about Zeke. Look, I'm still not convinced about him. There has to be something wrong here. Or maybe I can say the contrary next. I mean, maybe in the next episodes I will tell you, look, I was good, I was wrong. Zeke was okay. But till now, I just feel that he's doing what he's doing just because of himself only. I mean, he's just doing this for his selfishness. I don't know, but I don't agree this attitude he has. Every time he puts conditions, every time he's look, before I tell you, you have to do this, or before I share my plan with you, you have to do this. He's putting lots of conditions. That's not the proper way to save other people. That's what I believe. If you want to save people, you do it unconditionally speaking. I mean, without problems, spontaneously, because finally, you found the people who wanted to listen to you. So, but he still puts conditions. First, I want to talk to it, and okay, or I will share. Probably he is thinking, I will share my thoughts once you will do this, once you will do that. Uh, uh. Hmm. Let's see. Right now, I'm just doubtful. I mean, in the previous week, I was surprised because yes, I've always thought somehow, and thanks to some details, thanks to some things, that Zik was not next to Marle for real. But maybe Zik is not on Marle's side, and he is not on Paradise's side. He is on his own way. I mean, probably he doesn't want to take sides. He's just in the middle. He's doing his thing. That's it. Maybe. Let's see. Okay. Okay, guys. I think I finished. Look, hello, everyone. Look, I finished right now. If you have other questions, feel free to ask me questions, of course. And if you don't have questions, see you on Friday, because just for this week, the rewatch will be on Friday. And then I will also have okay, this is something else, but I will have also the review of the second part of Sailor Moon movie because I'm going to watch it this Thursday. So, okay. Anyway, if you don't have other questions, look, maybe many of my thoughts are wrong. I mean, maybe many of my theories are wrong because I am an anime only. I don't read the manga, so I don't know anything that is happening. But it's nice to guess. I like to guess. That's why I check anime only, because I like to guess. If I read the manga, I already knew everything, and it's not good for me. I wanted to be surprised. Do you understand? In fact, I was so surprised when I saw Zeke changing sides, let's say. Okay, no other questions? Okay, I think I will go. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned because tomorrow there will be episode 2 of A Full Metal Alchemist. If you want to follow me over there, go and check it out. Then there will be the break because there is not the Promised Neverland episode. It's just a recap episode. But anyway, on Friday, I will make, of course, the rewatch. So once I really rewatch it, maybe I can change my mind or find a new theories, whatever. And see you next Sunday with episode 10. I don't know what to expect. Oh my God. Okay. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye. See you. Bye.